Confidence starts as an inside game. It's all about getting your head in the right place and believing in yourself and believing in your capabilities. And that starts with how you are by yourself. It comes down to keeping promises that you make to yourself. If you decide to do something, you set a goal and you say, I'm going to get this done. And then you follow through on it and keep that promise to yourself. I think we all know what that feels like. The sense of accomplished pride that we get when we make a decision and set an intention, this is what I'm going to do. And then when we follow through on it and actually get it done, there's a feeling that we get inside. And the more we do that, when nobody else is looking, the more we're going to develop and cultivate a belief in ourselves, a belief in our ability to do things. And that's the inside game. A lot of it is not needing permission from anybody else to do what it is what you decide to do, to set your intention and to get the job done, and to know within yourself that I made a decision, I decided I was going to do this, and then to actually follow through and do it. And it's important to celebrate that. It's important to recognize it and to give yourself some time, 20 or 30 seconds, to really appreciate what it is you've done. And the more you do that, the more you're going to build up a trust in yourself. And how can you expect anybody else to trust you if you don't trust yourself? Because that's where it starts. And it starts when nobody else is watching you. It starts with developing and cultivating habits that you follow through on what it is you say you're going to do, the promises you make to yourself. It's important that you keep those promises, regardless of who's watching. It's just as important to do it when you're all by yourself and nobody's looking as it is to do it when you're out in public, because it becomes a habit. What we do when we're alone is going to make a big difference in getting into the habit of following through. I don't think there's anybody that's watching right now that hasn't made a decision to do something and then followed through. Because when you're all in, when you set the intention and then you go all in, nothing's going to stop me from doing this. It shows. It leaks out of you. It's something that you can't manufacture. It's something that is either there or it isn't. Because you know, if you set your intention and you put your heart into it and you go all in achieving that goal, you might not get it right away. It might take you one or two missteps that you have to adjust and then follow through on. But in a sense, that makes it even more powerful when you achieve it, because you know there was a little bit of work that went into that. It wasn't necessarily the easiest thing you've ever done, but it's something you got done regardless of the challenges, regardless of the obstacles that were put in your way. You faced those challenges, you navigated the behavior that it took to get the job done. And then after you do actually achieve it, the success becomes all the sweeter. It becomes all the more satisfying, knowing that it wasn't an easy ride, but I had the tenaciousness and the perseverance to stick with it. And regardless of the challenges, regardless of the times I might have wobbled or I might have fallen down, that you were able to pick yourself up, readjust, make changes, and adapt to what is, because there really is no such thing as failure. You're either going to succeed or you're going to learn something that's going to help you succeed the next time you make an attempt. And I think the more challenges you get and the harder it is, the easier it is to appreciate. And that's something that it took me a long time for myself to be able to really appreciate the things I got right. Because, you know, we have this attitude like, yeah, I'm supposed to get it right. That ain't no big deal. It's a given that if I'm going to set out to do something, if I'm going to work for somebody and they're going to pay me to do something, they're paying me to get it right. That's not a big deal. It's not something I need to celebrate, but it is. it is something you need to celebrate for yourself. To take that 20 or 30 seconds to really appreciate what it is you've done. And the more missteps and the more challenges and the more times you fall down before you actually get there, the more appreciation and gratitude you're going to have once you get it done. The more difficult it is to get it done, the more you're going to build up your resilience and your perseverance and your tenacity. And all these things mixed together just make you that much more powerful. And it makes it that much easier for you to appreciate. Keep watching for more. Tom O'Ryan, EquestrianHypnoCoach.com.